Hey, let's go back into the rabbit hole yet again, and hoping this is gonna be my last video because frankly I'm just burned out. Even though I don't spend all that much time trying to figure this out, it's a rabbit hole that always leads nowhere, and I'm just frankly tired of it. Having said that, I do want to go over a few things that I have noticed, and I haven't really seen many people talk about. In my personal perspective of this, of course, it's all subjective and open to interpretation. But this is interesting to know right here. Let's just watch this apple roll. See. It goes past the 7. Okay, you see how it goes past the 7? And I know people say that this is an L, but it's not an L. I mean, look at that. That's a 7. Let me just kind of crappily turn the camera. That is a 7. So it goes past July. And already this over here somewhat resembles a number 8. Somewhat. I mean, it's vague, okay? And this here, X12, that is 12 in Roman numerals. 12. This is pretty interesting. It's really hard to capture that on camera, but it looks like a bunch of shark fins. It literally looks like a bunch of little shark fins all over the place swimming right here. And the so-called Shark Week starts August 9th through August 16th. What's interesting to note is that inside the apple is a more pronounced number 8. Still vague, but it's a little bit more obvious that it looks like an 8. Let me get the camera focused. Right there, you see that line? It goes like this. It goes like this, and then see how it wraps around like that? It resembles a number 8. 8, 11, 8, 12. 8, 11, 8, 12. So, or it could be the 13th. But, again, humongous grain of salt. How many times have we been wrong? Too many to count. But I'm just saying, keep an eye out August 11th, because that is a watch date, and it should be. And keep in mind that there was a YouTuber years back. You see how George Bush said, if you reverse that, he actually says August in reverse. And you could look that up yourself. Julian T talks about that. That's pretty interesting. And then, Shark Week, more references to sharks. Having said that, so we went over this in our last video, how I believe that this is the birth canal, and this head coming out of the birth canal is when the birth starts. And presumably this is July. I don't know. It's hard to say because who says that she's not necessarily a month? I don't think she is. She could be. The reason why I don't think she is because these all represent moons, and that's obvious. And it's obvious that it's 2020. I mean, that's just clear as day at this point because you have the L for lockdown over here for June. The face covered up, face mask, the barbed wire for lockdown. An emphasis on the month of March. And then you have the sick child later in the video. Infected with a virus, presumably. Mind controlled through the television. Having said that, you could look at it like this: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. Or you could look at it like this: January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, and then these two are October because there's 2 full moons in October. Yes, there is. There's one on the 1st. There's one on the 31st. And then you have November, which is key, and December, which I'm going to get into because that's a weird one. Having said that, she could be July or August. I don't know. Let's just, for the sake of argument, say that she dropped the ball. I mean, you can say that a birth process is taking place with China underwater, India underwater, floods and fires and total insanity all over the place. I mean, it's easy to say that the sort of the elements of water and fire in the birth have begun. The birth of the new earth, the birth of the Aeon of Horus, the birth of the rising sun and the new age. But let's just say, screw it. Okay, let's just say it's August and the birth starts to come out in August. September, October, the 2 moons are merged. And remember how we were talking about Israel is shaped in the middle? So we have a war in Israel in October probably. In November, this is what I talked about last time. Look at this. That is water breaking. Nobody talks about this. The water breaking. The water is breaking in whatever this is, July or August. Just say it's August. The water is breaking, but the water is completely flooded below November. And November resembles a tired mother holding her child, doesn't it? I mean, look at the shapes of the arms. It's almost like she's nursing a baby with floodwaters beneath her. November is the key month, I think. If we're looking at 2020, again, take this all with a grain of salt. But I would take a look at November and take it seriously. November and December. December is the end game because let's just say that this is about the end of the world. Let's just speculate and say that the world ends literally and a new one begins. This is interesting here. Look how far and separate December is from everything else. And look how badly damaged he is compared to everyone else. Everyone has their own unique injury or whatever it be, right? But there's this massive crater on the side. And that's why I think December represents an asteroid strike, an asteroid hit. So, again, does it mean it'll happen? No. Maybe none of this shit will. I don't care. I'm trying to solve a damn puzzle here, alright? So, we have this full moon here. It's hard to say. This looks like the blue moon in December because it has a bluish hue to it. There's a full moon in December called the blue moon. And is this when the process is complete and, this ascension onto the new earth? This sort of the final process, the final phases of destruction. Oh, yeah. How could I forget? Oh, crap, missed it. Another date, of course, which every single year everyone talks about this date. I missed it. It's super hard to stop at the right time, but Okay, it says 23, basically. It says, there's a 9 right there. 9:23. I didn't stop it on time, but I promise you that's 23. So that's all over the damn place in Ipetgoat2. 9:23 freaking everywhere. Could be another date to look out for as well. September 23rd. Could be. And I want to emphasize November again. October, November, because of this celestial thing going on here. And that is this, the Scorpion Table. I've heard other YouTubers talk about how this is a reference to the Bible and the scorpions from the pits and blah, blah, blah. I don't think so. That's obviously a scorpion. I think that's the constellation of Scorpio. The constellation of Scorpio being, let's actually open this up here. It is, sun passes through the sign of Scorpio from about October 23rd to November 21st, right in our key time frame. I think that is the most important time frame for this birthing process. As he comes out, this being, this demigod comes out of the birth canal, and when he comes out of the birth canal, which I believe will be in the USA, we're kind of like the center of it all. Look, everyone overlooks the sun exploding for some reason. I mean, a billion YouTubers. Actually, there's only a handful that talk about Ipetgoat2. I mean, I've only seen like a dozen, maybe less, but nobody wants to talk about the coronal mass ejection or the sun being in a nova. Even though this is the finale, this is the main. That's the main part of the show. How could you ignore the frickin' sun exploding and the asteroids coming? Look, is this really not important? And one more thing, real quick. And so look how open the birth canal is once he comes out. Once he comes out, the birth canal is stretched to the limit. Sorry to be all weird and graphic and shit, but that happens sometimes when real births take place. And in this case, the birth canal is a landmass of some kind, whether it's somewhere in the USA or Hawaii or whatever it may be. Behind the damn birth canal is freaking cataclysmic destruction. And I mean, I don't know if it's going to be a crustal displacement, a magnitude 10 earthquake that's just going to rip the place in two pieces. It's going to be a freaking magnetic event, electromagnetic event. Oh man, I don't know. We can speculate all we want, but whatever it is, it's going to be freaking massive. It's going to be so massive that it freezes time itself. Freezes time itself in the midnight hour. Where the midnight hour is, I don't know. But again, with the tsunamis and the water, whatever it is, it's going to be so massive, it's just going to freeze everything in damn place. And that might be literally true too. After the fire and water process, we could have a literal like snowball earth type scenario like in the movie The Day After Tomorrow, which everything literally does freeze over. Literally. Alright guys, I think that'll do it. I don't think it's necessary for me to make any more Ipetgoat2 videos. I just made all the points I want to make. Keep an eye out on August 11th. Keep an eye out September 23rd. Keep an eye out on October, the 2 full moons. Keep an eye out on November, the beginning of November in general, and then late December. So there's a few months left to the rest of the year. If nothing happens, thank God, we're all safe and sound and happy and fat. If something does happen, then it might be horrifying, but at least we're part of an epic story of Earth an epic story of change, massive change into something new, into something better. And hopefully our consciousness is going to evolve and grow and expand and be in a better place as a result. And this will all be just like a faded memory, and we'll be in paradise again on the new earth, which is my greatest hope. Because nobody needs this horror anymore we have here. Nobody. Not the animals or the people. Love you guys. Bye.